All right, welcome back everyone to another live cop episode. I didn't put out a video last week, and I want to just address why really quick. Um, so we had like a really tough family death that happened, and then on top of that, just it being super dry and everything, I just couldn't push out a video. So I am sorry about that, uh, but I did want to get back to it this week after dealing with all of that. So honestly, I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm not really going to go into the details. Um, but just know that I had to take some time off last week for something out of my control. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, I know this is kind of abrupt. There's no real segue or transition here into the actual content. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna jump. I'm just gonna jump right into it, really. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. This week we are gonna be doing a Yeezy supply setup tutorial with Wrath. Um, I wanted to get you guys all prepared for the upcoming Yeezy supply drops. Get everyone back into that mindset. I know that we haven't had anything, so it's tough to fall into this, the state of just, oh, there's no drops. I'm not really preparing like I normally would. You're not really as motivated. You kind of fall out of the routine of going for Yeezy supply drops. But there are slides and then Yeezy Day on the 1st, and pretty sure there's 2 Yeezy Days this year, so it's going to be August 1st and 2nd. So 3 big drops all happening within like a week of each other. So we're going to get you guys prepared for that. And then next week, I am going to be doing a low-key flips showcase and live cop video, showing you guys how to do the low-key flips that are in SoFlo Supply using either the autofill or Wrath to show you can make money with just a cook group and maybe like one bot. You don't need proxies, Gmails, servers, anything like that. And then the week after that will be Slides live cop video, and then after that will be the Yeezy Day live cop videos. So with all that said, we're going to jump right in. This is the Wrath Yeezy Supply setup. So you are going to download the bot. Of course, you can rent it. It's super cheap right now. It's going to be like less than 100 for a month, if not cheaper. So you're going to download the bot, open it. This is going to be your dashboard. Always start by clicking this arrow down here. It's going to be your update button. So no updates available, so we are good to go there. So we can go ahead and move on. So I always like to start with my settings. So click this little gear icon. So here's where you're going to put in your webhook. Click test to make sure it's working. And then this is up to you if you want to get a webhook when you pass splash and also when you get declined. I prefer to have them on. So turn that on. Click save up here. Make sure you click save anytime you do anything in Wrath. If there's a save button, click it. Other than that, you can put auto solve here. So if you have AYCD auto solve, you can use that if you prefer instead of imbot solvers. I use imbot with Wrath just because you don't need very many. So I use imbot with Wrath, and then if you did use this, you would turn on this button here for enable auto solve. I keep it off. Then over here, you don't need this. This is for like Shopify quick tasks. So that is it. Make sure you click save when you're done. Have this auto click captcha sound on as well, or this button on as well. So then you're good to go. This button, we don't need it. This is shipping rates, which is for Shopify, but they're not even really needed anymore. I think most people don't use them, and they're definitely just not needed. Accounts, don't need them for Yeezy Supply and like 99% of Shopify. You'll want one for Undefeated, but other than that, you don't need it. Proxies, for sure, this is obviously a big one. So here I have all my proxy lists. So let's say you wanted to make like 2 task groups, one for your resis, one for your ISPs. You would generate your resis, so you'd put them all here. It'd be line, line, line. Give it a name, so like resis1, and then click save, and it would show up over here. Then you could do the same thing for your ISPs, line, 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 and then you could just name it like ISPs1, and then click save. It'll show up over here. And then you have 2 different proxy lists you can use for tasks. I always recommend for ISPs 1-to-1 or check with the company, like their Discord server. They might allow 2 or even 3-to-1, but I wouldn't really push past the recommendations. And then resis, this is something I definitely want to touch on. We get a lot of people asking like, what's the ratio for resis to tasks? Just generate a ton. It doesn't hurt to generate more. So yes, the official recommendation might be 3 resis for every task. Why not do like 10 resis per task or even 20? It's not going to cost you anything extra or hurt the performance of the bot in any way by having too many resis. So like let's say I'm running 1,000 tasks, I'm generating 10 to 20,000 resis for those 1,000 tasks. As you can see over here, I've got like 10,000 in this task group. Now ISPs or like private like live resis, those are going to be 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. But resis, there's no reason to run like 3-to-1. Just generate a ton. So that's the way to get your resis working. And then also start your tasks a little bit sooner, but we'll get into that. Right here we've got our profiles. So this is where you're going to put your billing profiles. If you only have a few profiles, like you're just starting out, you just make a group, come here, and then like literally just manually put in, all your info. Click create. It'll pop up a profile here. Do it again until you've got all your profiles in. The easiest way is to use a toolbox such as AYCD, which is what I use, to create profiles. So you see here I've got 200 Capital One Eno profiles. These were all made in AYCD. And you can export them and then import them into Wrath here. And then if you ever have profiles in Wrath and you want to move them to a different bot, what you do is you click export and then you import that file you just exported into AYCD, and then you export it from AYCD into the new bot in that bot's format. So I had a question on how to do that, and that's how you do it. So yeah, this is how you make your profiles. So then our final task, the fun part, is actually making your task. So like, this is just super basic. You just do YS1, and then you do another one for YS2. I like to separate my resis and my ISPs. It's just easier for me to keep track of. You don't really even need to do this because of a new feature that I'll talk about with Wrath. So what you'll do, also raise your delays, 5,000. And then you'll click this plus sign to start your task. So site, obviously select Yeezy supply. Go for the shoe you want to go for in the SKU. So that's going to be this. If you go to like yeezysupply.com and you click on the shoe, it'll be the last set of letters and numbers at the end. Just copy that and put it in here. So this, for example, I think is slides. Then for sizing, just random for Yeezy Supply. Of course, you can select the sizes you want to go to for if you want, but I like 99% of the time just do random. Tasks. So Wrath can now handle quite a bit of tasks. I think the recommendation, if you have like a 16-core, 32 gig of RAM server or PC, it's like 4,000 to 5,000 tasks, even 6,000 to 7,000 people are running. This is my local machine, so I do 2,000 to 2,500, especially if I have to run Shopify at the same time, because that's just what my PC can handle. If I am running it on my server, I do bump that up to about 4,000 tasks. So say we want to run 4,000 tasks, we would then select our profiles. So like I said, I've got 200 of those Capital One Eno VCCs. I would just select all of them. So that's 200 profiles. And then if I wanted to run 4,000 tasks, I would do 20 tasks, because that's times 200 profiles will be 4,000 tasks. Quantity 1, proxies. So then I would just select my resis, go over here to advanced, click experimental. So experimental and stable, I've had the exact same amount of success. It seems like if I run 2,000 or 3,000 tasks, I'm going to hit 2 or 3 checkouts on stable and 2 or 3 checkouts on experimental. So I pretty much just, if you're going to run a lot of tasks, just stick with experimental. And then you were good to go. So you'll click create. There you see, I've got 4,000 tasks. So then you'll do the same thing with your ISPs, exact same profiles, experimental, everything, except the only difference would be only make as many tasks as you have ISPs for. So if you have 100 ISPs, only make 100 tasks. But then you're good to go. So then I think this is another where people kind of get tripped up, especially if they used to bot and then they're coming back, or if they look up a video from a year or two ago, and then the recommendation used to be start, not even on the hour, it used to be start your task when the sale goes live at like 9:02 or 9:03. That's not the recommendation anymore. The site, like getting to the home page, that dies. The more tasks that are entered, the more amount of traffic that the site is experiencing. So now you really need to be starting within 2 to 3 minutes of that waiting room going up. So if that waiting room is live, which your cook group will tell you when the waiting room is up, or they should, we definitely do in SoFlo Supply. If it goes up at like 8:45, then start your tasks around 8:47 to 8:49. And with Wrath, you just press this start all, and then scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see a bunch of tasks saying waiting for stagger start. So Wrath has this feature now where you don't have to separate into task groups because you're just going to click start all, and then it's going to start, I think it's 650 tasks at a time. It's going to wait 3 or 4 seconds and then start the next 650 tasks. And it's going to repeat that process until all your tasks are started. So then you just need to make sure that you're going to have some errors, especially with resis, but as long as depends on the drop, it really does. As long as like 70 to 95% of your tasks are getting through and just saying waiting for sale, you're good to go. Like I said, you're going to have a few hundred. If you have like 4,000 tasks, you might have 1 or 200 that have that error. You can try to search in here for error and then stop all those and then restart them. But just with resis, that's the nature of the game right now. You are going to get some errors, but as long as the majority of your tasks aren't, you're fine. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it as far as creating Yeezy Supply tasks goes. Expect the drop to last anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours. It's Yeezy Supply. We don't know stock numbers. Seems like when they come out, they're always wrong, no matter where anyone gets them from. But then other than that, that is really it, guys. Yeezy Supply, it's very resource intensive. But once you run it once or twice, it's super simple to set up. It's not like Shopify where you're like changing delays and stuff like that. So yeah, that is it. I do just want to give a big shout out to Proxy Heaven and Godly Gmails. I'm cooking with them every single drop still. And if you guys need any help, please feel free to join SoFlo Supply from the description below. There will be a link. And I will see you guys in the next video next week. Later.